We welcome you for the annual general body meeting. Now I would request all of you to stand up. We'll have a 1 minute silence for all the expired alumni. So now we'll have the President's welcome speech.
That was quick. I thought you were going to say other things to me. At the outset, thank you all for making it convenient to attend. We know it's been a long day with the CME and the oration and then now the HDM. We've tried to make it as quick as possible, so we've made a PowerPoint presentation to be very clear and precise. Thank you to our team and patron for making it convenient to attend. We'll start. The customary President's speech has lots of other deliveries, and I'm just going to go to the basic brass tacks of what is important to us going forward in the next 1 year. The first thing is our ATG certification. I'd like to thank our team, especially a big round of applause for the two left and right hands that I have. One is out of the country at this moment, Meenakshi Ramabarat. I'd like a big hand for her, please. And one, Dr. Maya, please stand up. No, you have to stand because I can't make her stand. I can't make any of the women by not do anything. Anyway, that besides, we went through a lot to get this done. By a lot, I meant, to be very candid, we really struggled to get this done. We were told we could never get it done and all sorts of things. We had thank you to all the alumni for coming at short notice, 21 days notice, and partaking of the special GPM. And we had to revise 7 amendments to the Constitution, only after which the ITOs willing to even look at our application. And let's not get into details how we got it, but we got it, and now it's a lifetime taxation. Now, what I want you to see on this form is not that we got the ATG, but what to the left is the one that I got from the ITO, to the right is also the one I got from the ITO 1 hour after, when I found gross errors on this. Now this is what has happened to us in 1984, and we can't repeat the same mistake 30 years down the line. When the ITO gave me this particular form. There are clauses, if you look at the fine print at the end, you probably can't read it. Applies to an educational kindergarten institution and some stuff like that. Nothing to do with us. The date of our application on this is filed on 7/10/2015, that is this year. So these small errors, they can withdraw it at any time in the future. And that's what's happened to our application. Our entire constitution, he says, show me 1984 constitution. We don't have one in 1984. We have one in 80 and 91. We looked through all our files, we broke our heads, we tried to get something in 84, but there's nothing. All because when we accepted it at some point in 1984, some point in 1980 or 85 or whenever we accepted it, the word 84 is coming. And that's got stuck. It got stuck on our 12AA. He was planning to even cancel our 12AA. But now they can't do any of it because now we've got the ATG and we already had the 12AA. But if we did not get this, then we ran the risk of even losing what we had, is the 12AA. So we had 6 months of real stress to get this. But now that we have it, slides forward. Now that we have it, we must make sure we never lose it again. A big thank you to Father Bishop Percy, I always call him Father Percy, for giving us the first check towards our SJMC Corpus Fund. Now what we have done is we have started a Corpus Fund and we would wish the AGM to ratify this fund. Next slide. This is specific ways of filing your receipts and stuff that with the ATG that we have complied with the CA who helped us with the ATG prosecution. Okay, I'll straight get to the nitty-gritty of this Corpus Fund because Rajiv from the US, our US President, US North American Chapter President, had asked a few questions, about 8-10 questions, which was very good in a way because that helps me frame exactly what I want to tell all of you and we'll relay this worldwide once we've recorded everything. The Corpus Fund is created with a twofold objective. What are the objectives? Twofold. ROP is a Rural Orientation Fund and USP is a Unique Scholarship Program. The signatories, who are the signatories to operate the fund will be the President of the Alumni Association, the General Secretary and the Treasurer. The fund is to be kept in the alumni coffers. The principal is not to be touched and only the interest generated is required for the fees that year are to be released at a specific time each year to the management for specified students to be decided upon by a panel. The basic concept of scholarship merit cum means based on the calculation that fees per MBBS year are roughly 3 to 5 lakhs Indian rupees at SJMC at the moment. The exact specs are to be worked out based on the panel's opinion. Now you ask me what about the panel? A lot of questions about who's going to be on the panel, who's going to decide, what are the nitty-gritties of it. We don't want to repeat the mistakes that we ourselves, the alumni, have made in the recent past. We promised much and didn't deliver. We don't want to do this again. We want to make sure that we first raise the money and then form the criteria for disbursing the same when we've raised it. The money to be raised, who is it going to raise the money, is to be raised from the alumni and all other avenues for raising funds till our 2.5 crore Indian rupees is reached for the USP wing of the corpus. Remember I told you there are 2 wings of the corpus. The other wing will still carry on. So ATG will not put a clamp on us as per the ATG specifications. We've got to spend 80 or 85% of our income over a period of time. We can't be carrying over past a certain point. So this will help us take care of both the arms. Till such time, as we reach this 2.5 crores, any interest will be rechanneled into the corpus and only the percentage earmarked for the rural orientation will be used, the interest of the percentage as per the requirements. Now here you may ask me, what is the percentage? If I give you 100 rupees, how much of it goes to the ROP, how much of it goes to the USP? That depends on you, any of the donors. You want to put 100% in one side, you can put it. You choose. But if you do not, in the interest of fairness, the Alumni Executive Committee has decided that we will put 50% on one side and 50% on the other side. Otherwise, we may be biased towards one or the other going forward. The corpus principle, as I mentioned, can never be touched under any circumstances unless and only if the association is dissolved and then the terms of the constitution be followed immediately too, as also the ITOD does at that point in time. Yeah. The ROP, as I mentioned, is open-ended. As more we get, the more we are able to help reach our rural doctors. The executive has formed a committee chaired by a rural outreach secretary, currently Maya Mascarenhas, to formulate the criteria and sift through invited applications every 3 months at specified times after inviting application and scrutinizing the same and disbursing help thereof. Yeah, the corpus will be placed in FDs, in nationalized banks and bonds, etc., approved by the RBI to generate the best possible interest available in the market at that point, while at the same time ensuring that the funds are secure as per the RBI norms and meeting with our ATG and 12AA criteria, with audit control and an accountant. Roshan, can you stand up? Roshan is our accountant. A big hand for Roshan for joining our family. He's left St. John's, but he continues to be with the Alumni Association. Representation of the alumni on the committee, who's going to represent and how much is the North American, that was the question I was asked. Representation of alumni on the committee to decide norms will be based on proportion of financial support, as also any outsider who does donate to us, yeah, depending again on the proportion of support. The panel to be formed comprising donors, the Alumni Association executives at that point, whenever we reach the 2.5 crores, and the management CBCI in a ratio proportional to commitment of parties concerned. Now, if the management decides to double the quits, then they get 50% of the say on the matter. Fundraising for the corpus. How do we go about raising funds? I want ideas from you, for this is what we have come up with in our limited capacities as an association at the moment. Blue and gold board. Now, brochures, we're trying to bring out raffles, gate sales and sponsors. The board has been slated for the 25th of January after consulting all senior alumni members. We felt that 25th of January was an opportune day, largely because the 26th is a holiday, it's a long weekend, and we won't be conflicting and clashing with the Christmas season where everybody comes in and everyone's tight for money and you go and ask for donors and people are not very generous with their purses. So we fixed for that. On this note, I'd like to announce very happily, as of yesterday, Prestige has come forward and is one of our associate sponsors in a big way. So let's have a big hand for Prestige, ladies and gentlemen. So the board is well set and rolling, so we're well on our way right now. The CMEs and events, we're again well on our way because that was the mandate with what we started. Yes, we have to conform to the ATG specifications in that we can't have a standalone oration like we've been doing all these years, because it's anything that is considered non-charitable is mamnua, as it's in Arabic, against the concept of ATG. It has to be charitable. So, but it's considered charitable if you have a CME attached to it. So that's why the oration we link to a CME. This helps us also in generating some amount of funds. Yes, this year Arun Sheikh was kind enough to say hematology will contribute to the SGMC endowment fund. So, because the alumni per se, we can't take the money and put it into the fund, charging for the CME. We can't do that. We used to do that earlier. We used to even give you tickets or whatever, give you receipts for the Christmas dinner. We cannot even do that. We can take donations, accept donations, but we can't charge you for it because we're a charitable organization. So we're supposed to give our members charity and be free and nice to all of you. So drinks around the house at Christmas this year. Alright. But that's the concept of CMEs. Going forward, we can even take this further in consultation with the management. Maybe we could, 50% could go to the alumni, 50% could go to individual departments and build up departments. So it's a win-win situation for everybody if the CMEs are going to go back to that now. Okay, thank you. Corporate social responsibility. This is another big field which we have entered. We didn't know anything about it. Among us, probably Maya is the only one who knew something about it. We actually attended a workshop and have written up a CSR plan. Now, this plan has gone out. I've sent it out to about 10 corporates right now, 10 major corporates, including people like Philips and what have you. And we'd like help from all the alumni to give us tips on who to go to. Now, this particular CSR plan that we've written up, first up, is the adoption of a village called Martali, which is 245 kilometers from here, 45 kilometers away from Kollegan. In October of last year, three of us, Meenakshi, Shalini and myself, had visited that place and helped out Dasari Prithvi, who's one of our bonders, who said, sir, please, we need some help in pediatrics, gynecology and dermatology. So we've gone across and we've seen the need in that area. We saw about 370 people in a span of 3 to 4 hours, and there's a huge need in that area, and not just in medicine. So when he said this to me, he said, "Sir, can you do something more this time?" I said, "Why do little things? Let's try something." So we made a CSR plan which involves not just the medicine aspects, involves sanitation and involves education. So the budget for this particular plan that I worked up now with conjunction with my team is about 35 lakhs. We may or may not get it. We'll try and we'll start as of tomorrow, because as the alumni, we'll be funding whatever we can to start with, seed money to start the lab. Because the basic request started with having a lab there, having some basic facilities like a lab and X-ray. So we feel that if we start it, alumni all over the world are welcome to contribute, but we're trying largely from corporates to see if we can tap the CSR market going forward. The donations are most welcome from alumni and well-wishers. Even tiny donations as tiny as 500 rupees, 1000 rupees from people are most welcome. Because like I said, we've got a long way to go to reach the 2.5 crores and no amount of money is considered small. On that note, I'd like to leave this slide with a letter on the other side. My general secretary is a very sharp fellow and very quick on the person. I so you see the letter. Not sorry, previous one. Yeah. Yeah. This is a donation started by one of my classmates from school. Now, as Johnites, I felt ashamed that a classmate of mine from school has so much of faith in me, would give me 5,000 every month, and he started this progressing forward and open-ended till he lives on and his family lives on. So 5,000 every month may seem like a small amount, but going forward, it's quite substantial over the year. And it's in little things that they can do. We don't have to give huge amount of money. When I asked one of the journalists, I won't mention where, what, why, when, Bugger register for the CME. I don't have 300 rupees, ask the other fellow. So if that's the case, then I raise my hand. Okay, but we can do things with little amounts and go a long way. Yeah, next slide. This is the account, next slide. This is just the account details. We won't waste more time on this. Okay, this is another thing that the Alumni Association has done for St. John's Medical College. I didn't wish to bring it up till I was very sure that we have done it. Sunita might have an idea about this because they were all looking at it, but we started this process quietly about 3 to 5 months ago. It's finally culminated in the fact that we are going to get a skywalk across from the hostel to the college. Because I always felt very strongly about this, and we pushed quietly because you know how it works in the government. Whatever influence you may have, thanks. Whatever influence you may have, it may not happen until it happens. Okay? So this is the seal down there of the engineer of the DBMP who signed and sealed it on the 13th of July, and that can't change after this because it came from the administrator of the DBMP and we went across and then it got done the same day. Now, because of the elections, things got delayed. Otherwise, it would have happened 2-3 weeks ago. Whoever wins this election, good luck to them. One of my classmates is standing for the BBNP. You may all wish to support her. She's not come here today. My caveat to her on our WhatsApp group, my classmates will all notice that I said, you want us to support you, first come to your alma mater and come at least for the AGPM once a year. So then we'll support you. So she's like, no, conditional support. I said, well, politics. Anyway, so this will happen. It may take a little time depending on when the elections are finished. And then we are only facilitators. We are not doing anything else other than facilitating and getting them to the doorstep. And then Father Paul and all will take it from there and decide on how much of land and what have you. But the entire cost will be met by the, from what I understand, the entire cost will be met by the BBMP. So it's one of the projects, one of the 40-50 projects that they were in. We managed to slip through the back door and just get in and put as one of our, yeah. Is there another slide? Yeah. Oh, and this is big thanks yesterday. A lot of things have happened in the last 24 hours. I am dead tired and I need a good Bacardi today. Allah, yeah, no way. So this is Dr. Tommy Chandy, a big hand we've already given him. He's got a few specifications. He wants it to be placed with the alumni, in the alumni association, in the bank, and the interest to be given to the management every year for an entry-level student who has a means issue. Now, the specifics will be decided. I'll write you a letter, sir, and the specifics will be defined by the management for whoever comes in, because you all will be best placed to know who's likely to get it and the economic means and stuff like that. We can discuss that later. Yeah, but Tommy Chandy wants to give it there. He wants to keep it with the Alumni Association as a standalone fund. So we decided just let's name it Tommy Chandy Scholarship. So we just facilitate this all over again. On that note, I'll hand over to my General Secretary to continue with the rest of it. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we have the reading and passing of the minutes of the last year. Would you like it to be read, or has everybody read it? We'll pass it. Okay. Then we'll go on to the next session. Yeah, anybody propose? Yeah, can somebody propose it and second it? Can anybody propose it? No. Yeah, and Rally and Bino. We'll go on to the report for this year. I'll try to do it fast. So a new era was born, okay, with a new set of team members. We had this in Raja's form, and it was a very fantastic experience. So first we started cleaning up ourselves. We cleaned the alumni junk which was there, and we got around 5 sacks of base, and we sold that, and we got around 2,400 rupees. It was around 300 kilos. And with that we bought a kettle and we started our own coffee shop. Not shop, coffee. Can't make money. Yeah. We had our own coffee machine. So then we went on to install a computer. We had a new computer because the previous computer had around 7,000 viruses, and we had a lot of problems with that. And so we had a new computer, around 30,000 rupees, and with a password protected, so only few people can operate it. A very fantastic, a very important achievement which I feel is getting an ADG tax exemption. And we are very happy that the team members really worked hard for it, and I would like to thank Praveen, Maya and Meenakshi for doing all the help. So after that, the first letter we wrote to the dean was increasing the alumni fees from 2,000 to 5,000 rupees, and then we are awaiting the reply from the management also to go ahead in this aspect. We started our first outreach program. It was in Masdi, Malur Taluk, where Sister Lucian is working. In fact, we had a very, it was actually a band that day because Jayalalitha was arrested that day. So there was a huge band that we somehow escaped and went into that place. And we were able to see around 90 patients free of cost. And we donated linen and free medicines to the centers. And all the costs of lab tests were taken over by us. Then we had the first annual throwball tournament initiated by Shalini, and the main event was to promote sports and professional women and to collect funds to save the newborn girl child. This idea was conceptualized by Dr. Carol D'Souza, and Ashwini Ponappa was a chief guest, a badminton player, and the Christ University won the trophy. The George Chandy Trophy for the most valuable player was awarded to a player from Maharani Women's College. Next, we had the Kerala inauguration of the regional chapter of Alumni Association in Kochi. It was around 150 alumni located in Kerala and Tamil Nadu who attended it. And there was an academic programs for the doctors. Dr. Tom Jose spoke on, he gave a didactic lecture on orthopedic aspects and hands-on demonstration also. And Binu Joy delivered a session on radiology to the audience. And Dr. Deepu George took over as a new president of the South Indian chapter, and with his team, Dr. Sister Annie Sheila, Babu Francis, Alex, and Dimple George. Next, we had the Dr. Jaishin Memorial Oration on November 28th. It was presented by Dr. Philomena Pereira, who is a former professor and head of the Pediatrics Goa Medical College. It was a very motivating talk. The talk was titled Challenges to Serve. She gave us her story about how they started treating children with HIV and even without ART. So the concept was with good nutrition you can take care of even HIV children. So what is the process, what all problems she went through. It was a very motivating speech. Later we had the Christmas dinner on 12th December in the annual tree space show, and it was attended by around 142 Jomex, but it was spoiled by a big rain. We had the second outreach program on Maratali Chamraj, which we are planning to take as a CSR initiative. Around 370 patients were screened and treated free of cost. Thanks to Dasri, who had organized all this for us. Later, we had a program on challenges in health, child health symposium January 17, and the pediatric department with the AA had organized this program. They delivered lectures to students and doctors from all over India, and around 100% discount on the registration was given to sister doctors who attended the program. Not only the academic programs, we had also conducted charitable activities like on Jan 26, a team of Sparrow and other members donated So we donated a collection of clothes, books, medicines as a part of an ongoing drive since alumni, whatever we got from alumni excellence dinner, and were handed over to the orphans and destitute girl children. We also had career guidance sessions by Dr. Robert Anthony, and a lot of speakers had come, and one of the speakers is Dr. Brian. We also thank Dr. Gopal Menon, Nitin Yashas, Dr. Ravi Narayan, Dr. Tony Raj, Dr. Shilpa, and Musa Kaisar for contributing to the career guidance program. We had the 37th St. John's Hockey Tournament on February 19 to 15, and prior to that we had a beer and biryani. We would like to thank all the sports committee members, Dr. Kuttappa and Nachikeet, for helping us to make it a success. Dr. Prudvi for designing the technical and for his technical support. Also interns, Dr. Milne, Roshni, Rodney and Pooja. But a big applause to Shalini for taking it as a big challenge. And as you can see that the samosa which Kuttappa is having is actually eco-friendly. So we have to thank Dr. Meenaka for all this help. Then we had the West Zone Regional Chapter inauguration. It was created for encouraging outreach program and connecting well-placed alumni to reach out to rural doctors. Dr. Anil Lucas was elected president of this chapter. Then we had, for the annual conference of the rural sister doctors, Maya had personally went for the program, and we presented a check of 1.5 lakhs to purchase medical lab equipment for a rural center in Madhya Pradesh for the sisters there. The third rural outreach program was on a May Day this year. Praveen and his team had gone to rural area, as I mentioned earlier, to Gudulu, and the camp was attended by around 45 patients. They were treated with free medications. The following week, Robert Anthony and Priya Payas held a camp there and catered to the pediatric patients there. And we would like to thank Dr. Renita Lobo for her guidance and help. Of all, we had 2 bar nights where Maya croaked, and Dr. Thomas Chaney also had a very good song that night, and it was really beautiful. Not only that, we had even social contributions by our alumni. One of the major work done by Meenaka, we lovingly call her Meenaka, and she has written articles on papers about how to manage garbage, etc. So with this, I end my report. Now I'd like to ask So I would like to ask Twinkle to take over and present the budget, and we would like to the balance sheet, and we would like to get the proposal and a second. Any doubts or anything, you can please ask.
We're just passing some of the copies around, and we've also posted it on the net along with the notice. So I hope some of you at least have had a look. One of the main things I have tried to do with the help of our newly appointed accountant is to narrow down the number of FDs we have in multiple places, because it gets very difficult to manage, especially considering that it's a part-time job and we are not able to devote too much of time. So keeping that in mind, all the FDs that have been maturing in the last 1 year, we have combined them, and we are in the process of now putting it into the corpus fund and then creating a FD out of it. So if you, as you can see in the balance sheet, as of now, as of 31st of March, we had around 88 lakhs in our alumni association, mostly in the form of FDs. One of the other things which we also done is we had a worthy cause fund with us from the batch of 83. So since that is also for rural outreach, we'll be putting that also into a into the corpus fund for the rural outreach program. We also run the hockey, and we've newly started the throwball tournament. So we have set aside 2 separate FDs of rupees 10 lakhs each, the interest of which is to be used to run the tournaments every year. So I think if anybody has any doubt.
Just a question. All the donations that you get, are you going to open it as a new account, or will it be part of what you already have?
We've already opened a new account called the Compass account, and when people donate, we've asked them to specify which of the 2 causes, and it will go into that Compass account. What she was talking about, the current FDs that we've had, we're trying to streamline it instead of having small amounts all over the place, and that will remain in FDs, but it will be as a corpus account. And if anyone doesn't specify, we're putting 50% for the scholarship and 50% for rural outreach. So that's the base. And the 1983 batch had some monies kept in the Alumni Association, which they wanted to use for a worthy cause. So we requested them, instead of keeping it as separately, and then they have written us a letter saying that we could put it into the common corpus fund, but a specific amount has to be ratified by them every year, which will be given to a worthy cause that they decide on. So it's basically streamlining the processes. Even the normal savings bank account, we've opened a sweep account so that not too much money is kept in the savings bank, which you don't get much interest on that. So those are the only main things that we've done in the accounting. We have to be a little careful now to maintain and retain our ATG and ensure that we spend the 85% of monies that is there in our regular account. So if we keep too much, then it's difficult to spend. If we don't spend, then we will either have to pay certain taxes, or we will lose our 12A status.
Is there any other question regarding the previous accounts? If not, then what we need to do? We need someone to propose, someone to... Yeah, someone, Dennis proposes. Seconded by Dr. Sunita. Dr. Joseph said it. Okay. Yeah, couple of things on the accounts. Now, the accounts are fine, but 2 issues. One, we need to appoint a new set of auditors. We could continue the same or appoint. Then I'll come to that and why we are proposing a change. One of the things is, if you look at the account statement, at the bottom it says audit fee and taxation payable 22,369. Now, this has been, we saw something that says carry forward every year. So we didn't know what is carry forward business and carry backward business in none of us accountants. Okay, so we had no idea what is happening. So till this year we hired an accountant, so we now have a kind of idea of what's happening. So we try to trace those bills. Apparently, according to our current auditors, we have not paid them their auditing fee for the last 5 years. Now there's something in this because although they said that to us, they're also saying that somewhere in between this, so this is between 2011 and 2015, let's say, okay, but some, or whatever, 2010, 11, 12, 13, however you can calculate these financial years, but somewhere in between in 2012 we have paid the 5,000. So doesn't make much sense to me, but this is what he's telling us. So my take on it as a lay person is, I don't know any other CA whose letters off without, my CA won't let me off without my paying the audit. So I don't know how this carry forward business works. So what we have done this year is I've insisted on Twinkle in paying the money. So out of this 22,000, 5,000 is to be deducted because we have paid it and we have taken the receipt this year. Now what is our problem is, we don't know where any of the receipts or any of the documentation in the last 5 years. We can't find any receipt. And it's the auditor, so he's supposed to give us the receipts of the thing. So he's not able to give us, and he's telling us this. Even the audit questions were quite strange because he's asking us questions about funds like what is the SJMC endowment fund made in some 1993. I was not even in the country, whatever, 2003, whatever it is, I'm not even in the country. So I'm like, what do? We can't explain. I don't know if we are supposed to explain this year or not. So anyway, done is done. He signed the audit report. He's given us a clean check. He's given us the to file the sheets, file whatever it is, and we thank him for the services over the last 10 years or more. I don't know how long he's been there. But the protocol for appointing auditors is that they give us a quotation, if I'm correct. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. And so far, nobody ever submits a quotation. So this year we have specifically asked in the 3 weeks earlier, we sent a notice to all of you all that we're having this GBM. We specifically asked for people to submit in quotations from CAs as auditors. And I have ensured, Twinkle, we've double checked that we've sent personal emails to Mr. Rennie, Philip and co. We've sent them an email clearly stating, please submit your way. Still nothing has come, but we've got 2 other quotations. Now, one of the quotations, now I won't bias you on this, but there are 2 quotations. If I tell you who it is, then you might think I'm biased. So let me just say, there are 2 CA firms which have applied for this. One is giving a quotation of, now this particular CA firm who is here has been standard 5,125 or 5,159 for the last 5 years. So that's been the standard fee that's been, there is not a change in the rupee or decimal here or there. But the new guy, one guy who's applied, it was a sealed quotation, so none of us have any idea about it. It's the first time I'm opening this, and it says, I opened it 5 minutes ago. It says 7,980 is the quotation by one particular person. Another person is quoting 4,500. So these are 2 separate quotations for auditing fees and things as a total for this 1 year. That may change the next year. They'll obviously increase according to what CAs do or whatever it is. I'm told they keep increasing on a percentage basis or whatever it is as per the work submitted. Now we have an accountant who knows how to handle the Tally software. So he's putting everything, you've done all this up to now, he's put everything in the Tally software. Only thing is he doesn't know how to claim. Now again here, a lot of money is due to us in tax rebates or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what's the term you use. Refund. Okay, refunds. We don't know where refunds are gone all this year, but now we're making sure we get the refunds because we are 100% tax exempt. So we're supposed to get whatever we do. But I don't understand a tax statement or whatever this does. Even at home, my wife does it for me. So here I'm not getting involved in the money matters of things. So we have an accountant for this and Twinkle handles all the money matters. So put it to the GBM. Who do we go with as a accountant going forward? Can we appoint? Auditor going forward. Should we go with the lowest quote? Because I can't tell which is the better audit, which is not, or whatever it is.
Is there any good reputation among them?
Yes. Now I can be biased. Can I give you my biased opinion? Okay. The guy who's given us a low quote, ironically, because he knows us so well and we've chewed his brain, is the guy who helped us get the ATG. And he's still sitting on on our FCRA application, which we incidentally applied on 20th of February. It's lying with New Delhi. And he is not charged a single paisa for the FCRA. His thing is, when you get it, if you get it, we charge you. If you don't get it, finish. We only charge you for the postage or whatever it is, which I think is a fair deal. But
I mean, rather than discussing, we'll go with the person who we are familiar with, and it happens to be cheaper.
that's what I'm looking at. 90, but I'm angry, so yeah, all right. So shall we go with KP Nambiar and Sons? Is that okay with everyone? Okay, so somebody has to propose this, or how does it work?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Proposed by?
Ophelia, Dr. Ophelia,
Yeah, by?
seconded by somebody, Dr. Murtaza. Okay, I hand back to.
Now we'll go to the discussion part. The first is certain resolutions which we took as a committee member. I think it has been already discussed, but I know that briefly. Would you like to discuss about this? We are already cleared that earlier. Yeah.
For information.
Yeah, this is just for information.
This is just, we put 5 resolutions on. Please have a look at them. If you have an objection, then raise it. If not, we'll just consider them passed. Shall we do that? So, not to waste time. Because basically it's the same thing. I'll read it out clearly. The first one, it has been resolved to create and establish the SGMC Corpus Fund which you have mentioned, with the 2 stated goals which you have mentioned. The principle is not to be touched. The reason being, the question we are often asked is, what is after this committee goes or you go? So that's the reason we need to pass the resolution at the AGM, so things go streamlined from now onwards. Yeah. Second, it has been resolved to dissolve any dormant funds. Example, the Vision 2020 Fund, the North American Chapter Fund, Endowment Fund, Worthy Cause, whatever, all funds, and transfer the amount to the newly created SGMC Corpus Fund. Yes. Yeah, Adrian, please.
Every year, the batches that pass out have an account in this Bank of Baroda, things like that, including like my class funds, which have been dormant for years. If we can pass a thing stating that you either clear out the account or the remainder goes to the alumni.
Now, what account is this?
Your batch will have to write a letter to the alumni saying that they would like to transfer that amount to the corpus.
Yeah.
Because it's not in the alumni books, it's a separate account. So if you want to put it in the corpus, you have to then write a letter saying that you want to put it.
That would be for my batch in general.
Yes.
What about carrying forward the batches that leave at their graduation?
No, for example, I'll give you an example. It's like for the Golden Jubilee, my batch, your batch, and 3 batches which were first stated had some extra money lying about. So what they've said is, let's just put it into the corpus fund. But I can't do it. Whoever is handling that account has to write a letter to me stating that this has to be done, and for this purpose.
At the time of graduation, if they can be asked what exactly they were to do, it's better at that time the signatory to actually take a decision and finish off with it.
What you can do is, what he's suggesting is now future batches, the interns batch, is it intern batch, intern level? We can write to them and say that if you are collecting money, that you can park it in a, you can donate it to the alumni
Just
association.
like the 83 batch with the writer and they need one or two of them need to be consulted when
We can write a letter to them.
Okay, but do all batches have this fund? I don't know. Do all batches have this account? I don't know. My batch has no account. I think it's just a one-off thing that some batches have, some batches don't. I don't know.
At the time they formed the committee, they usually open an account for that.
You mean to say that they formed the student committee? Okay, now I get you. You're saying the student committee has a fund and that those accounts are lying dormant, is it?
We can't touch student.
That we can't do much about it.
I'm not sure what student committee you're talking about. Is it a functioning student committee in the college? That fund belongs to the institution.
Yeah, that's something.
That is something totally different. That student committee fund is utilized by the students for improvement of mess or whatever. That is lying with the institution. I don't know what you are referring to.
For the annual cultural fest and stuff like that.
Autumn news and all that, that belongs to the institution. That is for the student and for the institution. That doesn't come to the alumni.
And also they donate actually.
They give money
donate
for various
for
causes,
some
and
program.
whatever is left behind, it's going to
That's the
shut.
management.
That's to do with the management. That doesn't come to the
in charge of the whole thing and become this thing, and now it's a
so that sorts that out. So the next one has been resolved to strictly adhere to the ATG. We mentioned all these things, so I won't go through them. Okay, any proceeds from any funds be used solely for charitable purposes, like I mentioned. It has been resolved to transfer this one is what I'm trying to, we need a vote on, I think, is that we have decided to transfer a large portion of our funds, which we are not using, into the thing. By that I'm talking about at least 60 lakhs, because we have about 18 lakhs. We need, let's be candid about things, we need about 10 lakhs for hockey, let's say, there's one big tournament we run. We need about 10 lakhs for throw ball, okay? And for orations and all that, we don't need as much, but let's say another 10 lakhs for our little events like the Christmas dinner, seed money for Christmas dinner, orations, or whatever, what have you. Okay, few things here, immediately 1 lakh, you have to do like say. So we roughly need about 30 lakhs operating costs. So the rest of it, if we don't use it, we have to give it out now. We can't be sitting on it. So one way of ensuring we give it to ourselves is to actually give it to the Compass Fund, where we build up towards having a scholarship. And anyway, my point is that if we need to get others to follow us, we need to lead the way. So charity begins at home. So is it okay that we transfer this right into the Compass Fund, from one to the other, and it will be parked there, but it's actually an expense for us from this fund. Concept is clear? Is that okay with everyone? Let's start with alumni association, the parent board will collect it. Let's contribute ourselves, and only then we can expect others to contribute.
Anybody can propose.
Is there anyone? No. We can, the whole resolution will propose in second at one time. Okay? So if nobody has an objection to that, that's what we plan to do. No, finish all resolutions?
Yeah, resolution.
No, Tommy Champions. Okay, there's one more resolution of Tommy Champions. We'll add it in when he's making the minutes, because this minutes has to go to the ATG tax officer, has to go to the ITO. Okay, moment we finish. When we finish, it has to be sent there within a week. So that will also include Dr. Chandy's letter, because like I said, he wanted the money specific for this purpose and to be kept here and the interest to be given to management. The nitty-gritties will work out the management, which time of the year we need to give it or whatever it is, and it will be a direct wire transfer. Okay, a point here, abolition of the post of bulletin secretary. We've had some issues with this. Dr. Carroll brought it up long back, and it has been made redundant now. One, because a member in charge of that decided, for personal reasons, she decided to leave at that point in time, just after we've taken over, 1 month after we've taken over. Then we've got a website that is up and running, and every month we document the minutes of the meeting, we send it to everybody. So we've documented, our documentations are kind of perfect right now, close to being perfect. So we feel that a bulletin, we can bring it out within ourselves. We can just combine a few things and bring it out once in a while if required. But we don't really need a bulletin secretary for that. It's just a waste of a thing, in our opinion. So, but we don't want it to be put as a separate resolution right now, because then we've got to rechange the constitution. So it's part of the constitution. So if we do that, then again we've got to go back to the IT officer, we have to take his permission before we do that. We can't be doing that right now. So what we want to do is just put a clause there, so that we don't have the election for this position in next year's August 2016. Is that okay with everybody? Or does somebody have an opinion on that? Because then that actually makes our committee member level to 11. It used to be 12. I'm given to understand that most committees functioning should have an odd number. So if you take, in case of a vote, you need to think. So we were always wrong with having 12 in the first place. Why do we have 13 or 11? So this actually falls into place with what committees were. So since we're streamlining everything, we thought we'd just do this as well. If any, yes?
Who's updating the website?
At the moment, Robert Anthony is doing it, I am doing it.
No, but so isn't there a designated person for that?
The communication secretary, but Meenakshi is not yet learned on this, so we need to get her slowly. I think her skills there are.
This bulletin secretary and that person doing the same job.
Exactly, so the communication secretary will do that anyway.
You still need a person to be doing that. So the bulletin secretary takes over that. So the poster things. Like, you understand what I'm saying? No? Updating the website is a big job. It's a full-time job.
We've been doing it quite happily, it's not very difficult at all. Because see, we're anyway doing a minutes of meeting, we just cut, paste, we put it onto this. So two of us have figured it out.
Responsibility has to be there for somebody. No?
Correct, so correct. Yeah, Robert is taking the responsibility now.
So you've been a bulletin secretary?
No.
We need a separate person.
We don't need another person, is what you're saying.
No, but it's a role played
We don't get salaries for this, so we just put it up. Okay.
The responsibility has to be fixed on somebody, you know.
Correct. So like we take the onus on ourselves, like
No,
going forward, we should, you're right about that. That's correct. I get your point now. So going forward, let's add one clause there saying that in future the responsibility of bringing out any bulletin will lie on the communication secretary. Fine? Okay. Thank you. I get your point. No, that's we'll propose second everything at one time. Macha has been proposing for a long time, so he's getting here. Okay. Yeah, next.
Any other post to be excluded?
Does anybody want any other position to be excluded? I think we are okay with that. Just one at a time we'll do this. Yeah, next. Okay, now about the queries. We sent out queries according to how we should do it. 3 weeks in advance. People are thinking, and 31st is the last day to ask questions. People have followed it this time. And we've got one question was Dr. Lakshman. Is Dr. Lakshman here?
Yeah.
Hello, sir. His point was ID cards for alumni, library access for alumni, how to eat at the cafeteria without a food token. This we all feel. Sometimes Mario was when he's kind, he buys me one coffee, but otherwise, yeah, I don't know how to get a coffee. But yeah, that's a good point. So we realized this long ago, on the 13th of November, okay. Alright, we've given a letter to the management long back, to the director actually at that point in time. Identity cards for life members, request to meet with the management thing. Meetings we've had, informal ones, but we've not got any official intimation from the management. So again, it's left hanging, it's there, we've asked, we've requested. I don't know what more else we can do. But we've done something else. Have you all distributed those stickers? Hey, some people have left, no? You've given them, okay. We've got car stickers of our own now, we made it. Please note, we are not liable. I mean, this is a disclaimer. You may park your car at your own risk on the campus from outside. You have nothing to do with the management saying you can park your car here or there. But it's just a car saying St. John's Alumni. So some recognition to ourselves we've given. And just as a nice sticker, we just designed a nice sticker, designed an alumni. Yes, sir.
It is not even a question of recognition.
Yes.
Once or twice I've had run-ins with the security guys. I think because of my beard, they suspect me of being a member either of the Muhammad or the and I really also once or twice.
No, I get your. We all feel that way, so there's no debate about it that we want something.
The thing is that the overseas alumni, many people have said this to me in private, that we are but sort of village scouts for the Alumni Association and the institution, and the Deshi alumni when they feel that that we have to make up the numbers for the Alumni Association meetings. And this is what informal chat during the session after the second round of beer. And I think there's an element of truth in it.
I think the complaint is true.
Yeah.
It's not felt, but it's felt a lot by the alumni who don't work in St. John's. I
Yeah.
treat it like an outside. I can't enter the hospital, I can't enter the library, I can't enter anywhere. And I don't know what to do about it. I mean,
That's true. We
that's why
need
we
to.
brought it up because
Sir, can we ask
it's
you?
some kind of
Our patron is here, so we can ask.
Like an ex-serviceman's card.
yeah, we don't want access to many
Now, I
things.
may say something to you all, and I brought it up with Sparrow several times in the past. These letters fly directly to them, and I have no clue about these letters. I'm seeing it for the first time, and I have no idea. This has never been brought to our attention. That's number one, because that office is very busy. So is all of us are busy, but at least if I'm at least copied, then I have some idea what the issues are, and I can raise these issues with the management. That's number one. The second thing is about entering the hospital. Now, there are issues around, you may be an alumni. I have no disregard for that. Please don't misunderstand when I say this. When entering hospitals and institutions, you need to have a valid ID card.
Yes.
And the security has every right to ask questions of people that don't carry a valid ID card.
Absolutely.
Now, you need to discuss with the management what that valid ID card constitutes. For us, it's the faculty who are working here with our photograph and our department. Now, if you're an alumni and you're visiting someone in the institution, personally calling on someone or meeting with someone, or you have a medical problem that you wish to visit the institution, etc., you must have a mechanism by which this is done officially, so that you carry that with you when you come here.
That's what we request.
There are several people, retired people, that do that on a very regular basis. There are several people that do that on a very regular basis because they come for their medical consultations or whatever. So I think it is possible, but when you send a letter like this, it's not very clear as to what it means in terms of unless someone follows it up. Now, if this needs to be followed up, then someone has to meet the director or whatever and then request him or for a hearing and present your case to them and see how it goes. Just sending a letter, that nothing is going to work because there's 100 other things that they are preoccupied with on a daily basis. So all I'm suggesting to you is that your concerns may be valid. Please meet him and see what you can do.
Asked for a meeting. We
Yeah,
asked
we
for a
asked.
meeting, which was fixed, and then he got sick, so that was postponed. And so there hasn't been a formal meeting because he's not given us.
But what would help, if you ask me a question when I come to this meeting, is copying me on this.
Yeah, I
Otherwise-
think that's
otherwise
valid.
I'm
That's
left-
valid point.
I'm left out of the loop and I have no idea, and I come and I see this letter here.
Yeah.
On the same token, I want to say one more thing. I need to run now because there's a meeting with Father. I want to say one more thing. I don't want to be sort of spoke in the wheel kind of thing. When you run any program, and this is another issue that we have, when you run any program, be it a rural outreach program or an academic program, great, fantastic. Please copy us on that. On your outreach program, which you ran, there were 2 people that went from here, or 2 or 3 people, I think staff member helped you out from here, right? On some of your outreach programs?
Yeah, or maybe one of them, I think. Staff member? No.
Interns or PGs.
PGs, yeah.
I'm coming to those kind of issues. When students of this institution are registered with us, go to you, we must be informed.
No, I think that
No.
was done only once in the beginning.
No, we got no letter. My office did not receive any letter about these postgraduate students going out and spending a day out or 2 days out. I have nothing against you.
No, it was on a Sunday.
No,
It was on
yeah.
a,
Whatever it is, just inform us.
Yeah, I agree about informing. Yeah.
Please inform us so that we know who are these students, who's going out, what's happening. That's all we need to know. Because tomorrow if some HOD comes and asks me, then I won't
No
know.
undergraduates. One PG came on a Sunday.
I have no problem.
Yeah, this is
Just a question of informing
I
us
understand
that
it.
this program is running. We have requested surgery PG to come out with us for a couple of days. I am.
yeah, most often when we do that, we take the permission of the HOD of that department.
Please inform us so that we are aware of it.
So on that one note, so before you leave, yeah, you're not.
No.
Okay, the about writing a letter to you and stuff. The first letter we wrote was to you and to raise our fees from 2,000 to 5,000.
Yes.
And they said, do it now because it's been not been done 2 years. We're losing money. I spoke to you about it.
Yeah, you did. This again, we've gone to the executive committee. We will take a look at it very quickly and come back to you with an answer. I promise that.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Yeah. Next one. Yeah, Dr. Sandhya has come up with a thing. Where's Dr. Sandhya? Okay. No, I thought she'd be here. Good that you're honoring the Alumni Association for whatever. What is it? Dash. Okay. I would like you to, I'm sorry, to also think of honoring retired teachers who have served this institution as teachers each year. One from each pre, para and clinical departments, including those consultants in Martha's Hospital. Now, we looked through this and we think that we may risk high case of heartburn over here, because how do we decide honoring one? It's not practical. What we can do, and as we have done, is to take a list from the student section of all the teachers in that one calendar year who are superannuating, who have worked for a certain number of time, pre-paragraph, whatever it is, and list them all. We may or may not give them some memento, or we may institute that going forward. Is there anything else we can do? Yes, sir.
Praveen, many years ago, when
Yeah.
we were in the Alumni Association,
Okay.
it was a standard practice to invite the staff who are superannuated or who have served the institution for more than 12 years. Don't ask me, my at 12 was chosen.
Okay.
Was 12 years. And they would come on the general body meeting, and usually a memento would be given and they would make a speech for.
We can start it again, no? We
we can start that again, but can we have it like how I said? The people who are superannuated take the list and do that. Otherwise what happens is you take some arbitrary 12 years, somebody who's done 11 and a half.
No, on that same, all superannuated people would be taken in, and there are people who have served that for many reasons.
Okay. Okay.
Like for example, Dr. Shetty. Okay, what do you do for them? They have to be appointed for some time or other. So they, at that time, first he said year as 12 years, and it was 12 years that was fixed.
Okay, so
Keep it 12.
we won't keep it 12. We'll say whoever is superannuated that year, we take the list from the student section. Yeah, just get the list from the student section. That way we don't have the honors. See, there's a list from the student section for whatever reason.
Somebody has worked for 2 years now, and what is the...
That was again the thing. One of our own has worked for around 2-3 years and say, we can't put him on the same page as others. Can you? I don't know.
Actually, why not? Because superannuated people are all honored, including and apart from the superannuated people, people who have left the institution after serving for 12 years. I think that is
Yeah. We can start this then? Yeah, what is it? Yeah.
How about celebrating Teachers' Day? Yeah, you can make that the kind of day where we honor all the teachers.
But the students...
The students do that anyway. It's been done to the students, so alumni doesn't need to get that space.
Get alumni to come and
Yeah. Sunita, what have you got to say?
Yeah, so I just following on what Dr. Ravindran
Yeah.
said, I think that system was in place for superannuated staff, and the reason I think 12 years or whatever is a decent good number is that there are many faculty who contribute a lot to teaching and leave for some reason.
Yes.
So there's no other forum to say thank you to them, and they've always really appreciated that. And the other worry I have is, I'm not sure why it stopped. I mean, I know it's not you or this committee, but I think when committees take on initiatives, we should not lose out, what was the earlier plan.
Exactly why we are bringing in resolutions and putting it in writing and saying, okay, this is what we will going to do and this has to be adhered to going forward. See, what happens is, a lot of what you say is hearsay for us. We don't know. Someone said, hey, Papa, that file is lying there. We have not seen the file. So, some fund there, oh, we started that fund. Oh, very good for you. But what is this thing of the fund? You should have some protocol to continue it with.
That's why the ex-president is always part of the
Yes.
He still is.
The ex, you know what I mean?
All are part of the country, but they also have to come and today, to be fair to Bobby today, he's the current ex-president, he's got some issue and he's gone out for a funeral and stuff like that. So to be fair, he said, I have to go for this battle, I can't come. So that's fair, he's not here today.
But
So
our ex-president is invited.
ex-president always invited. For all our meetings, he's a standing invitee and we send an essay.
But this practice is not, I think it's been stopped for some years, but I think it's working.
But even an ex-president may not always know. So let's have a system in place. Once we have processes and systems in place, going forward, nobody will say after Maya who, after Macha who, after Sparrow who. We keep getting asked this. I mean, we are not soothsayers to see what's going to happen in the future. We can just set processes in place and ensure that things don't go wrong. It may only get better. Or, I don't know, in some cases it may get worse, I don't
But
know.
now, let's make a resolution.
Okay, Macha Bank, this is
We have this felicitation of superannuated and who have finished 12 years or 10 years.
Let's keep it at 10 years. 12 sounds a bit like a whiskey.
12 or 10?
10 would be better. 12 was
A decade of service is okay. I think we'll keep it at 10. Let's keep it at 10. 10 plus superannuated. So what happens is, the reason also, the other thing is, a lot of the staff here feel that, this has come to me from some of the alumni saying, Bhaga, I have served for 35 years and nobody felicitated me on stage.
Okay, I just have a question.
Because he never superannuated.
Served for 10 years and has left the institution.
Has left the institution, yeah. Served for 10 years, sorry, yeah. Okay, make it, Bhaga. Okay, next one.
So when is it during the AGP?
Yeah. On that last slide also, Sandhya Bali and stuff, Dr. Sandhya, we open all this is always asking about PGs coming in. So this year we make a concerted effort. Aisha, please stand up and take a bow. Hey, you have to stand up and take a bow. Man, I can push the young ones a little bit at least. Come on. Alright, thank you. Yeah. Because Aisha has done a lot of work on getting the PG lists all buck up, and we are going to have for the first time, when we celebrate the Silver Jubilee in 2016, August, we are going to include a PG Silver Jubilee as well. Okay? And since we've not done it for some 7-10 years, I don't know why nobody's thought of it, We're going to include everybody for the up till that point. So we standardize it from there, yeah, from till 1990. So 1991, 89, 1991 batches of PGs, UGs all will get standardized.
People who have finished in 83, we never had a.
People who finish what?
So till 91.
From the beginning, from 83 to 91.
Till 91.
From 83 to 90, whoever's got me. Okay, on that note, one more thing that someone just outside pointed out to me, but nobody's brought this point up, and I don't know if I can bring it up, President, but what about, Yashani, you want to say something? This is exactly what I was trying to think of. Fellows or people who have done a fellowship here or something, they're not part of the alumni right now. Right now it's only undergraduates and postgraduates. I know to ask the fellows, I mean, if we decide on that, we need a change in the constitution. So can we look at that, not now, but by next year, just the same as they're looking at for the bulletin secretary. So at the same time they can change. We don't want to do something now and something later. So can we put that, can we list it for change?
When you say a person is a fellow, he automatically becomes a postgraduate.
Yeah, it's part of the PG process.
But what is stated clearly is only postgraduate of who has done 3 years of service was stated.
Then if you have a then all the diplomas also need to be included.
ECH and diploma are 2 years.
Diplomas are 2 years.
So my point is, why are we not included? My personal belief is, let's include everybody who feels part of St. John's. So if they've done a course here, not a 6-month course or a 2-month course, or done a regular 2-year course, a degree, certified course, shall we do that? Not just have UG, PGs, a certified, not a lab technician, doctors. Strictly doctors who have done a certified course. Can we add that?
Yes.
Yeah? If somebody proposes, sorry? Those proposes, who seconding? Dr. John Chico seconding, yeah. Seconding.
AGM is small, AGM is AGM.
No, AGM is an AGM. We have quorum for an AGM to decide it. And I don't think anybody.
No, what happens now, the minutes of this should be circulated to everyone.
Everybody, yes.
And we give them enough time to object or react.
Yes, somebody can react to it, yes.
If they don't react, then it becomes automatic. If
Yes.
they react, then we take it up later.
Yeah.
Can anyone who has done a fellowship for 1 year stand on the committee of this?
No, once they become members, yes. Not fellowship of 1 year. What is fellowship of 1 year? I think we should have a minimum of 2 years or something. I mean, or I don't know. You think? Sir, what do you say? You're the medical secretary. Why am I saying this? What do you think?
Now, if the fellowship,
Yeah.
fellowship is there, in neonatology or pediatric nephrology they have, they will be most of the time restricted to that department, to be frank.
Yes.
Or 1 or 2 departments they are associated.
Okay.
Not,
All that in
come
mind.
across any of the college or the hospital.
Okay.
I don't know whether.
How we could do it?
That is not.
Discriminate this.
No, I'm not discriminating.
No, he's giving his views on what is happening practically.
Technically, how can we split it up like that?
So technically we can probably say a 2-year course, no? Then that sorts a bit of the issue out.
I don't think that's necessary, because a person who has had training here for a year and he's got a degree.
Why do you want to restrict?
Okay, no restricting. Yeah, fine. I go with that. So let's have anybody who's done a recognized degree from him.
See, the other thing is,
It should be
Certified course.
university recognized degree.
Yes.
University recognized degree. Macha, you're listening to all this.
All are university recognized, no? All are university recognized. How can you say it's not?
Why are there some which are not university recognized? Okay, university recognized. Yeah.
and the other thing is, all the rules will apply to them. They'll also have to pay a life membership, they'll have to,
Why do you think I want them so much? I'm only looking at the corpus fund. So the more we get from the corpus fund, okay. Is he willing to come? No, but a lot of people have asked me about this. They want to feel part of the alumni. They said we are not allowed, we are not allowed. People who work with me at Vikram right now, the 2 guys who hearts bleeds for St. John's, Dr. Vikram Belyappa and Dr. Dheeraj, they both next door, good pals of mine. The gastro guys, every day they are out to the canteen eating. That's why they're the gastro guys. And they kind of like, they've actually come and registered for the CME today. So I mean, hats off to them. I know a lot of Johnites.
I think we
who are not even registered, so who are recognized members of the alumni. Say, hey, Banga, I am not involved in oral cancer, why will I pay 300 bucks? So it depends how you look at it. I think if these guys want to be, then why not? But also, we must make it a point that it's a two-sided thing. Now, a lot of people have said, oh, PGs are not involved, PGs are not involved. Finally, show me how many PGs have actually come after sending it. After sending the invite, not many have turned up. What can we do for that?
Keep going. Keep going.
Keep going at it, yeah.
This is just about the PGs thing. I think the Vision Mission Group had met the alumni.
Yes.
Because when we met the PGs, one of their angst or worry was they did not even know they are part of the alumni association. And in that sense, they were issued.
Then they're not reading the prospectus very well. It's part of the.
But I think
You're right, yeah.
they don't feel.
No, but what? That's what I'm saying. See, now we reached out. How do we get them to feel?
I think it has to be, I would suggest maybe you call a meeting with them, you arrange the meeting 2-3 weeks in advance, you lobby, you inform them and let them meet you and say you're part of this. And
We've tried this. That's what we tried this time. We tried very hard. Yes, Maria.
there is an orientation program in the PGs join, so that is probably to take away.
Yeah, this is another thing I've always been asking for, sir. I don't know how we get this. When there's an orientation from undergraduates and postgraduates, we've been repeatedly saying, please call the alumni, let us give our view of things, get them excited about, at some day being the alumni. We need to start that.
We'll write a letter to the manager.
It's written as part of the thing also. We write a lot of letters, but
I'm sure it'll be easily done.
they should be done, sir. If you ever get a chance to push for it, please. It's important to. The point is, any letter we write, now I do concede the dean says this, but then I asked myself, the first letter we wrote was to the dean. And today.
I know it has been minuted as one of the points of discussion.
Yeah, that's good. If it has and things are moving, I'm all for it. Let's not look back, let's look forward. That's been the mantra of our association. We don't care about what's happened in the past. Going forward, we need to improve. We need to get more people on board. We need to get our corpus fund done, because at the end of the day, we want to get that fund only for the students. So I think everybody should be a partner of this. So again, like I mentioned, we have to collect the money and then work on the principles of things. Okay, Rajiv's got all these questions. Americans has always had lots of questions. We hope the questions, and we've answered them all when I mentioned that we won't go through all this. We hope it translates into monies as well. And that's where we stand at where this is concerned. Anybody has anything that you feel are not answered in this? Proposed strategies. If anybody has any way to raise funds, please tell us. I think I'll write a letter out to all alumni requesting them to please tell us how we make money for the Alumni Association. Yeah. And for St. John's Ball, we need people on board to form a committee. So the other thing we're trying to float. We may ask a few of you all, please come forward. I tried a few today, unsuccessfully, but people feel, it's not. We have to give back something to our donator. At least point us in the direction of contacts to get us a sponsorship. Now we got the sponsorship thanks to our hard work and one alumnus here speaking for us, a young alumnus that we had who spoke to Prestige on our behalf, recommended. All the person did, she didn't do anything, she just said, okay, if they come, consider them. Then I went across and I put all our papers across, and I think what gave us a good standing with the Prestige group is our CSR pitch. Because I also sent our CSR, it's an 18-page document of what we are doing. So they really said these guys are serious. They're going to do something about that village. So I think that's what gave us a big sponsor with Prestige. And we've got a sponsor now, this is 6 months before the ball. So suffice to say, come what may, the ball will never be lost. It has to be profits from then on. Because the gate money, I'm not even looking at the gate money. We're trying to keep the gate money. One of the things we've come up with, we need a hotel. Because I spoke to Dr. Tamichandri also yesterday when he was giving me the check. We can't have Bangalore Club, that's ruled out. Because they have a rule that, Bangalore Club has a rule that they don't allow tickets for it. So we can have the ball in Bangalore Club, provided we get you all in free. So that becomes haphazard. We can't do it in Catholic Club because Catholic Club I've checked out, they need to take 50% of the gate money, 50% of this, 50%. I don't mind all that. But the catch-22 is there in Catholic Club is that they say that members are to be given at 300 rupees. So I thought it was unfair that we charge, for doing a charity ball, we are charging 3,000 to all of us for a couple ticket and charging 300 to a club member. So I thought that then you get a lot of people getting drunk and falling down. We want a classy affair, so we want to have it in a hotel. So if any of you know of anywhere here, abroad, anybody knows of any hotel contact which can give us a very good deal. We tried something with the ITC group, it's not gone through. I spoke to Dr. Brian, he did try. Brian always started out for us. He did try, but it didn't work out because the person we know is resigning this year, so we can't get it for January 25th next year. So that's why we can't get it ITC. If somebody else has a contact, please let us know. At the moment, somebody suggested the hotel on Magrat Road, Grand Magrat. Somebody suggested that. I don't know what the rates are going to be, but somebody can come up with it. Yeah, we need a good place. But another thing I want to do is get a cab service to and fro. So we're going to make that as part of the ticket, so that all of us can have fellowship and then go home in peace and not have to drive home. So that's going to be part of the thing. Anything? Tommy Chandler's check. Yeah, we've gone through this. Yeah. Adoption of a village, I have spoken about. So if anybody has any doubts or anything in that, or anybody is willing to help, please tell us. I'll circulate that to all of you. You can pass it on to companies that you feel you know. The idea is for the right person to contact the right company. If I contact somebody who I don't know, they just take it and throw it in the dustbin. So right now we've got a few companies who I know well, who we've gone to. So any of you have any contacts who you feel you know well, somebody in the CSR team. Now CSR is the next big thing going on. If we tap it right now, the Alumni Association can do a lot with it. Because we are actually, in effect, an NGO with 100% convertible. Nothing is going out, we're not getting paid, we don't take anything from it. Whereas even any NGO will have some charges and some stuff they take out. 30%, 20%, depending on what the NGO does. But we don't. So that's our USP, we are more like the Rotary. In fact, the Rotary is coming on board. I'm going to get the Rotary on board for the villages. I've got 3 or 4 Rotary chapters interested in it. So they will come on board. So I've got a lot of people going for that, those villages scheme, but we need more help. And any contacts, please pick up the phone and call any of us. Any committee member, just give us a tip on where to go. Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's okay, both are okay. Anura's not here.
What does adoption of a village mean? Because is it getting into a relationship? What is our responsibility for X number of years?
Let me ask that.
Yeah.
One of our focus areas is to reach out to places where our sister doctors or our family doctors are working. And that's in rural areas. And so many people have written in, because I've written out to all of them, requesting for specifics in their area. Now when you look for funding, unfortunately we're not getting much funds from our alumni, who are donating towards that. Some batches give to their sister doctors directly. When we're going outside to a CSR or to some corporate, we have to package it in such a way that they understand. So one of the centers where there's a bond center is in this place called Maratali, which you give an example. It's not a village, it's actually 16 villages that are covered under this center. And we've identified that they need health education, they need a few camps, they need some lab equipment, which we've put into a project, so they understand that. And then they know that there's so much money going for a specific purpose. So we thought if we can package many of our rural hospitals or our doctors' work and into these kind of packages, we calling it adopting a village, it makes a lot more sense to them. For us, it means supporting one of our rural sister doctors. Like I know 3-4 people want X-ray machines, and they cost 8 lakhs. Now, where do you get 8 lakhs from? So some of it can come through the alumni, but we have to look outside for some money.
So what you mean is like an SOS input, or is it like a relationship for X number of years?
Well, like the Marathali is for a 3-year project, something like that. Some may be just a one-time. Now, the sister Rochana, who's in Madhya Pradesh, we gave her a one-time. We didn't even give them the cash. We contacted the manufacturing company of the which she wanted, and we paid them, directly. And she got that equipment. So it will vary from case to case.
I have a question. How do you cooperate with the government healthcare or whatever the government set up there?
Who's we? Alumni?
The doctor village, the resources that are there from
they do that. The group that's working, the doctor who's there, has a relationship with many other centers. that's something that they will use. So we kind of may guide them on where they get it. For example, if you want to treat anemia, you can get IFA from the health center, PH. Okay, now we just have to tell them that. But they need testing equipment for HB. So then you have to buy that. We support that. So the project is written along with that team. We've just done one project for now, the long three-year project. But some of the activities, it's a running hospital or center. It's not that we are not starting a center. We're just connecting with the alumni who are working in these places, who need a little extra support to manage.
And the most important thing about CSR, I've done research on this, the most important thing of CSR is to reach out to different areas. Because different companies have different interests. Some people have education, some people they support education, some people support. Now it's very difficult to get them into our space. So the logic of doing this exercise is to get more companies into us, and then once they trust you, they'll give you money for your other things, namely the Corpus Fund. This is a list of all the achievements of all our alumni over the last 1 year. We plan to make this a standard thing and all thing. We've gone through them. You can read the slides as we go, much I've been going through. So Dr. Chen, Daniel, and Dr. Elizabeth Sun, Dr. Kamal, Joseph, you can run through them. Much I will stop on only one slide. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. We've tried as much as we can, much as tried as best. So apologies to any alumni we may have left out. If any of you in this room feel like putting up your hands and saying you've done something or something, because some of the questions was, oh, seniors, we've done this or something, why only alumni from the US? I'm sorry, only things we can get on the web we've got it. The other thing that's very important, for this reason, it's very important that all of you log on to our website. We've got only about 120 people or somewhere thereabouts now. Which is sad because we've been trying very hard to push the website. Now we probably will get more when people have to, vote me out next year. But by and large this year no voting, so nobody's logged on. But that's the standard format. Any organization needs a website as a standard thing. Yes, you may have your JFPGs, you may have all these other things, but most of them are, even though they do good work, they're not an official site. So if you put something like, much as put this question there, people have gone on to all sorts of things from there. We can't print and publish all that stuff in an August forum like this. Assuming this is an August forum. Yes, yeah, yes.
I have an objection to this.
Yes.
Do this, you should cover everybody. If you cannot cover, you should not.
Exactly.
See, for example, Anurag,
yeah.
he got one of the biggest grants this year. But you don't talk about it. But when somebody does an application of Rockoscopy, you think it's
I don't know. This is what I'm trying to say. So how do we go about it?
Just leave it like that.
Don't mention anybody.
Don't mention anybody. Otherwise,
Okay.
there are hard ones here. They'll say, why that fellow, see that fellow goes there and...
No, the reason we did this is because they say most of our other alumni, other version is you all don't recognize anybody. So you have both ways of looking at it. If you recognize somebody, you're in trouble. If you don't recognize.
No, it's better not to recognize because it unnecessarily be hard work. And see, like giant Daniel, I went personally and followed that he has got a year ago. First fellow in the alumni who has been the director of a different lab. And the age of some 35, 40. There are small people who are doing work like that.
Yeah, fair enough.
We don't have to know.
I think we need to widen our net of getting information and get the process stronger, other than abolish the process of recognition.
Thing to, Sunita,
Just, I'm not will not have any hard one, but I think the issue is that.
You cook well, is it? No.
The point is, I think maybe a month early or something, you can, when you're sending out your.
We did that. We did all that. We crossed our T's and dotted our I's, but still we would not finish it. So what do we do?
That's our problem.
Yeah, Mario, I think you have something to say.
I think what you are doing is a good thing, because I think one of the big problems is, I'm not saying in terms of projection of it at a meeting, but at least collecting the information.
Yes.
Because actually we tend not to know what people are. I think if you keep doing this,
We'll get better at it as we go along. Yeah, we think so too.
Every 2 months keep sending this out. Does anyone have?
Carol does this outstanding work on this, but she also finds out things we don't want found out. So that's a bit of a tricky thing. Yeah.
Because I think one of the things which I'm trying trying to do is trying to create an archive for St. John. We have
Yeah.
no archives at all. And I think what the alumni is collecting, I personally would be very happy to keep stocking them into the archive, because 10 years from now, 15 years from now,
Yeah.
anyone knows
Perfect,
will
yeah.
not know anything about it.
Yeah.
But I agree with the fact that maybe projecting it and actually recognizing it at an early stage like now, it's not a question of whether a person has artwork or not, it's just a question that you will miss out next.
Yeah.
Which, if that is the intent, then you know that.
Yeah.
What happened to the website?
So I think we should still,
This-
for the next year, keep requesting people for information and collect it.
Yes.
Then when we have substance, maybe try
The problem is there are so many areas of information, it becomes a little difficult. Like JBG wants their own set. Now Cam wants to do her thing on jonet.net. Somebody, so we need to collect all that and put it in one place. But
You can't put it on the website. They have
you can, but they have to see. Carol feels that no, I want to write on jonet.net. Somebody else feels I want to do it on JFBG. This,
I don't know how these things work, but
that's what we've done. We've tried to clip and put it here. We've asked them, we've written to them personally, we've done that. But
We can't import content.
we can't impose it here.
And keep it on to.
I would agree it's good to have it because it's good to know.
Yeah. So Mario can help us work out on some solution how to do it. Electronic archiving.
As far as electronic archive, and really making copies and putting paper in.
Okay, Mario, if we, yeah, okay. Yeah, Maja's getting worried now. that's it. Okay, so if nothing, before we propose all the thanks, does anybody have anything? Yeah, Mario. Who? I don't even know who Reva Devraj is. Who's?
This was found in the website, Jonet website.
Yeah, she came and did an observership for 6 months.
Yeah.
Okay, she's observing Jonet. Okay, fine. Doesn't matter. We'll co-opted her for this. Okay, fine. Good spot. Yeah, Mario, you've got something to say.
I just wanted to make a suggestion, like whether the alumni feels this is something that's worth doing. I think that, increasingly over the years we've been talking about recognizing sister doctors. And I think that unfortunately in St. John's as an institution we've moved away from recognizing them. So starting with Mary Lowry, we removed her from the prospectus. And there was a suggestion that I had put to the governing board some years ago to start Dr. Sister Mary Lowry Prize for sister doctors from St. John's who have fulfilled the aim of service, wherever they are. This was actually accepted. I did not try raising money at that time when it was done. This must be about, I think it's about 3 years old. Because it coincided with the call for funds for the Golden Jubilee thing, and I felt that asking people at that time was a problem, but it was also a problem because they didn't have ATJ exemption. And I felt asking people to donate and then not being able to at least get them that was a problem. So do you think that there is a possibility, is this something that the Alumni Association would be interested in? The advantage of it being located within the Alumni Association is that there is a likelihood that it will actually continue, for a longer period and will not be subsumed as many of the prizes happen in
What
St.
is
John's.
recognition or prize in your mind? What will that
I think it's, even if it's a token amount of money, at that time, I mean, I'm not very good at finances or that, but I figured that if we had something like say 5 or 6 lakhs, it would allow us to have a token prize given to them and allow them to address a gathering. Because I feel that, again, I mean, these orations I held, Praveen was saying that he's hoping the next one might be a doctor sister. But actually, in terms of what we've been working at, vision and mission, we're just too far removed from what we are stating and what we are doing and recognizing people who've done that work. So,
I think it's a wonderful idea. I think we could take it up as that. Right? See, my whole point in all this is that when you say that, yes, okay, forget about the management, no disrespect to the management, but they have their ways and they have their issues. As alumni, if we are raising money for, let's say, the corpus fund, which we feel strongly about, that does not mean we can't raise money for anything else, for X, Y, Z. I've always encouraged alumni to give to what they feel they want to give. Now, you feel like giving money if you have a particular cause in mind. So, if
It's not the money here, it's one.
no, to raise funds, what is it, may clash with the other things.
Prize money is just a.
Not the prize money, to raise the 5 lakh capital or 10 lakh capital, 20 lakh capital.
Enough which you can set
For
aside.
that specific goal.
Yeah. So now let's try to raise it for that goal as well. Let's have other goals in addition to them.
Even within our rural outreach corpus, we
Yeah.
can set aside and say that how
Sure.
much the prize, we can fix the prize money and say.
No, we have to work on specifics, model. Can you take it up for us as?
I can send you what I have.
Yes, set us these criteria, something to help us out with, because we need to fix it. Yeah.
I think apart from it's a very good idea, but I think the recognition, all of them here is just recognizing.
Yes.
You just need to pin down on what they
Yes.
are doing.
Now the thing is, we've tried to bring down days to as minimum as possible. So let's do it at some oration, one or two. They can fix it every year for that.
Let me tell you, it's very difficult for the sister doctors to come away for a, they already have their own forum and they meet, one is the annual general body
Okay.
which I went to in Chennai. They have 7 regional chapters when they get to meet at different options.
Okay.
We should use those also.
Yes, I was going to say, yeah. I've been invited now by Sister Lucia to the next chapter thing. When is it? Jan 20, when is our one? 25th. 26th to 27th, I think they're having another meeting. Sister Lucia's invited for that. Let's give it to that. We give an alumni association award at that meeting. Is that? Oh, you are there,
I
yeah.
think it should be done here, where our students and our teachers can say.
Okay.
No, mine should be at St. John's. There is a sister doctors forum.
Yes.
And there are 500 of them, you know.
Who don't meet
Such
in
in others.
Who don't meet in St. John's, yeah, that's the best. They don't meet in St. John's at all.
Alumni of St. John's, the sister doctors.
They don't meet at all.
Don't meet here.
So how do we do it? Which day? Fix a date.
If you are fixing any CME and HME,
Is Mary,
it's not there.
no, Mary Glory's birthday, archive
Going
man.
to become a saint.
Yeah, no, I think the reason why we also, the idea of naming it Dr. Sister Mary Cloud is because of the irony will be is that if she's finally canonized and no one even recognizes her at St. John's, that will be the greatest irony at that time when we all start rushing to gain recognition. But I think that the reason why initially I thought of it being, I think the prize being located in St. John's is precisely because it has to inspire. And I think they are doing inspirational work. But when do people actually even go about it? So actually when I had submitted it to the governing board, I had submitted it saying could it be awarded on the college day? Because but then the problem is I don't know how now if the alumni takes this lead. I think we should still insist. Why can't the alumni? They have prizes which are sponsored by everyone. I mean it.
I see, having a college day is easier said than done. I went through it recently with the management to do something on college day. I can't remember what it was, if somebody remembers what it was. Yes, we wanted to give a sports prize to Noel Lasky on college day. They opposed it vehemently, saying no, it's not in the prospectus. So if you want to do it, then we will do it for next year.
Yeah, no, it has to be done.
So no, let's work on a day. So that's why I said let's work on a day. It's easy and not get caught in red tape.
We have to approach the management and write. It has to be planned because it's not a one.
Okay. So what about the convocation with the outgoing students? No, not that day.
You have to decide.
What do you say? No, but convocation, all the students don't come.
The graduation day is the college day.
Okay, so let's have that then, the graduation day. So will you help us?
See, now that they have actually, the thing is the letter of approval is not with me. We can ask George D'Souza because it would have come to the STR, right? And we can say that this was originally put forward as health and humanities, and now the alumni is willing to take those. The conditions would remain the same, except that it should now read that it is supported through the alumni association.
Can you please do this for us? Tell us the thing. We said with Maya. So between the two of you, we'll sort it out. We'll get it done. So done. Yes.
I have just a suggestion.
No, instead of just giving prize and ending with that, why don't you let them talk or give their experience like
That
is what is the.
That is actually.
That would be the best. I mean, if you give their experience.
Was that the prize we give it at college day, and on that day in the evening or something we hold the talk.
So why can't we do the same thing? Both into the same like oration or a program where you can call them and felicitate.
It's just that we need to have the students there.
No, that's what we can do this both in same shorts.
The problem
Yeah.
is that if you have it on college day, you can do the recognition,
Yeah.
but you cannot have the talk.
Talk,
Because already
correct.
it's a packed thing.
Correct.
If you have it on a separate day, like a Friday, like a new oration,
Correct.
like you have AJ Mehta and Jayashri, call this as a
Sister Doctor oration.
Have it on a Friday afternoon, insist all students are very free.
That
But
very
when students come on a Friday.
Yeah. We have our Friday clinical meeting on Friday. Yeah, they'll be given special permission.
You pay them travel and you know, you do 1 year advance.
Single standalone day won't be
Think
possible.
what you want. You want
Very
recognition,
logistically
you
very
want to
difficult.
talk.
It has to coincide with the opportunity where students get together.
Yes.
That
Or
can be
also
arranged.
one day before the college day, if the college day program is not.
See, that we can do, but let's have the recognition on the
If
Wednesday.
we are agreed on it, let's.
We'll stick on this, we'll agree.
Yeah, we'll think about it. I think we can give you suggestions now. So we come to the end of the program, like with a vote of thanks by Dr. Mary August.
Dear friends, join. I know it's too late. Definitely won't take it. I also need to run home. So, on behalf of the Executive Committee of the Alumni Association, I take this opportunity to thank each one of you, especially our Dean, for coming and staying till the end of this GBM and making it a success. We also thank all the alumni who've encouraged and contributed to our efforts in the past year. And we request your continued support in the coming year also. Thank you.
Please correct your stickers.
Please collect your stickers, and I thank all of you for staying till the last. It was a really wonderful experience. Thank you.